Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Finally, seniors, it is here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends. And welcome to this, a brand new day. And remember, no matter who you are valid. Thumbs up for that. It is indeed a brand new day. Yay! It is cold outside here, but by the end of the day, it's going to be pretty warm, and it'll have been warm enough to have probably melted all of the snow that was coming down yesterday. I walked through the snow with an umbrella all the way to Walmart and back. It was cool. I liked it. Definitely a thumbs up. Thumbs up for that. And then I got so excited that I stopped talking there on that word for a minute. But I had a big old grin on my face while I was walking a lot of the time, just through the snow. Cold snow coming down everywhere. In this case, yes, I was engaging in a form of nostalgia, which I hate. I do not like nostalgia at all. But it reminded me of when I was younger. It snowed all the time, and I would be out walking in the snow. And this reminded me of that. There wasn't as much snow. It wasn't coming down as hard. But it was nice. Even though it was cold, it was freezing. You know, by the time I got back, I was very, very glad to be in where it was warm. But being cold is part of what going out in the snow is like. So it didn't bother me. Definitely a thumbs up. But I just wanted to mention that. So hopefully your past couple of days have been well. Hopefully your weekend is going to be good. That would be a definite thumbs up. I did want to talk about something here. I wrote a little bit down for it, but yesterday on a community post, I mentioned that I had made the mistake of looking at my channel analytics. Now, I didn't clarify in my statement why that was the mistake, but the reason I was calling it a mistake is, yeah, if you want to make YouTube a business, then you need to be there. But the analytics are soul crushing. They will just, they rub in your face for each video. But the last one you did, it tells you how well it is done and prompts you to do better, because if it's didn't do better than all the other videos, then it'll tell you how it's lacking because it didn't do any better than the rest. And they'll give you stats on when people click off and the average view length and a little chart for views on it, and it can be soul crushing. So very professional people say, I made the mistake, or don't look. If you haven't made it a business, don't look. You know, if you're not one of those people who has to make sure that they don't do a video that will do poorly, because one poorly performing video can tank a channel. So unless you're one of those people, they're saying don't look, because it will crush you. But I made the mistake of looking and I checked out the average view length. So I said I made the mistake of looking, referring to it's soul crushing, you shouldn't do it. But then I mentioned that, average view length, like 2 minutes, and it just rubbed it in my face. I got a lot of comments in a very good way, talking about if I want to change that, what I should do. And I then, because I got comments like that, asked, let me try to clarify. One of the people whom I was asking about games and mentioning this mentioned a whole bunch of types of games that I could play. And they're the longer form, narrative and story choice driven games, because the people that like those are more willing to watch them all the way to the end. And then lists And then examples where I forgot to put them down here, I think, but like Until Dawn, Life is Strange, The Walking Dead, and if not those, some of the more puzzly oriented types like Limbo or Inside. And I'm not really good at some of the more puzzly ones, and I've tried to play some of them and gotten not very far. Like I've got, I think, Limbo, and I've gotten a bit far, but when I say far, it's like compared to this. And the others, unfortunately, I've mentioned how I can't lie and that I'm not able to convincingly lie because of just the way I am. If I even do white lies, I get like chest pains. And so because I've never been able to practice lying, I'm not good at lying. And that also means I can't fake enthusiasm for something I feel no enthusiasm for. And unfortunately, the games that I was given in that list are the kind of things that they just don't turn my gears. So I wouldn't be able to even go through with them beyond maybe 1 or 2 episodes. Doesn't mean they're bad. Doesn't mean I wouldn't enjoy them. I just wouldn't be able to play them and enjoy them in the concentrated video format for a channel. So I asked for games, and primarily the one that came up was Disco Elysium. Now, from some bundle or another I think it's the only bundles I get, itchy nose, anymore, I still have the Humble Bundle. So every month there's like 8 to 12 or so games that you get. And one of them was it gives you everything but like the art book and the OST. So I have that, and I can play that, and I think I would likely enjoy it. I don't know how well I would do, because I suck at a lot of games until I figure out exactly the right mindset to be into. Because if you approach a game wrong, you're not going to get out of it what you're expecting you're going to get out of it, and you're not going to have fun. And there are a lot of games that I've played in the past where, looking back on them, I'm in the proper mindset now. I was trying to force a square peg through a round hole, and I wasn't enjoying the results. So now I'm in more of the proper mindset for a lot of these things, and hopefully proper mindset for this too. So I'm going to be starting that, as well as doing other things too. I just need to... One of the problems that I have as a neurodiverse person is the longer I don't play something, the greater the chance I'm not going to play it. So if I let something slip for a day, the odds of it slipping to 2 days are pretty good. And 3 days, even more. And then at 2 weeks, I'm not going to come back to it. Maybe in a couple of years. I don't know how many more years I got left. So there's a good chance that I will never be able to come back. Hopefully you figured out I was trying to say chance and opportunity at the same time, and then making fun of myself for doing so. But yeah. So try to remember with that bloody ADHD brain of mine. Oh, my mind is just a chunk of sponge inside of my ears. So yes, I'm going to be doing Disco Elysium, and that's a good thing. As well as the other games that, who knows. Largely, one of the things that I have mentioned, because in many, many cases, I do not have what it takes to be able to make the changes at the proper times to become like a big channel. I'm just not going to be able to do that. I'm too much a creature of habit and routine, and even though I am eventually able to make a change, that puts me 6 months, a year, 2 years behind when everybody else has made a change. And so I just tend to play the things that I enjoy, so because I enjoy them, I want to share them, which doesn't always get things picked up by the algorithm, which I don't get anything picked up by the algorithm. Which I understand. Again, this is why it can be like a snowball, because you have to get noticed to be noticed. And once you are noticed and the ball starts rolling, then, because if your videos aren't getting watched and clicked on, they're not getting recommended. And so if you don't get a lot of views, you won't get a lot of views. But if it starts to roll and a few people watch this video, then YouTube's going to go, hey, and start telling more people about it. And if that works, it tells more people about it. So that can really snowball. It'll take time, but it can snowball. So even though that was a very poor explanation, and I largely have no idea what I'm talking about, I'm just speaking in generalities, I haven't studied a bloody thing about it. But anyway, that's what I have been doing. As well as playing a huge amount of Paint the Town Red still. Alright, here's one of the reasons why I fixate on things like this instead of a lot of the newer games. Especially since people say as well, it's like you should play the newer titles and list off some of the more newer titles. I can't afford spending $60-$70 on a game title. I mean, the game companies have priced themselves out of my reach largely. As much as I would love to get a lot of the new stuff, and I do pick it up in time, I have Red Dead 2, and I got some stuff like that, where, yeah, it's a couple of years older, but I still got them. And Baldur's Gate 3, which was very kindly gifted to me by Kryptonite. So, where was I going with that now? Oh, I have very bad ADHD brain today, and I do apologize for that. I had terrible insomnia, pain-related insomnia, of course, and since I just use a sheet with a bath towel on me, unfortunately, while I was sleeping, the towel sort of marched off to the side, and so this part of me and over was freezing. And if I rolled onto this side to face that way, it was so cold on this part of my body. So I was very cold on top of hurting so much. So I am very tired. My sincere apologies. I wish that I slept, because it's healthy to sleep, and I wish my brain functioned better. And this sort of thing here, one of the things that happens to me with the ADHD brain, where I can forget what I'm talking about as I'm talking about it, this is another thing that makes it harder to go, oh, I'm going to be somebody, and then push out a bunch of effort into making a big, powerful YouTube channel. I don't mind having a smaller channel. I just want people to enjoy my material. I'm not saying I want people to watch. That's a given. I don't want to force people to do anything. I want the people who do watch to enjoy themselves. So hopefully that'll work. And who knows, maybe the attention problems and memory problems that I have are also related to the fact that there's a plastic spoon inside of my brain. And who knows how that affects memory. I wish there wasn't a plastic spoon in my brain. But there's a plastic spoon in your brain too. So thumbs up for that. Anyway, though, I don't really have anything else written up there except for things like Anthony Sclera and Lou and Utalk. Those are just talk about them channels. Channels, little flag markers there so that I'll talk about like Anthony Sclera and Lou. Because Lou, I still like Lou. I mean, I like Anthony too, but Lou is, for me, a little bit more interesting just because of the civilized veneer that they wear when, as a cryptid, that is just a costume civilization. And when it's time for Lou to do his work, well, Lou happily does his work. And that means someone is going to die. Painfully. And Lou's going to walk out of that little situation with a full belly. So, hey, call to action time. If you could like, comment, share, subscribe, that would be very cool. Of course, making sure to share only with people that you think would like watching an old man yammer on in a largely incomprehensible fashion about largely inane things. Largely inane because of the incomprehensible fashion in which they are delivered. But if you could, that'd be cool. And of course, my catchphrase, not only am I boring and awful, but remember, I do gaming content too. Hey, at least I have a sense of humor about it. And if you are a Patreon patron, thumbs up and thank you. With your help, I am able to eat food all the way through to the end of the month. That is appreciated to no end. When you look in the mirror, you are looking at someone who is beautiful and awesome. For everybody that leaves me a comment, you too are beautiful and awesome in your own way. And that is cool as well. I read every comment that YouTube shows me. I thumbs up and heart every comment that YouTube allows. And I answer as many as my nerve compression will let me. Definitely thumbs up on that. So hey, if you watched this far, thumbs up and thank you. The vast bulk of people don't, which I've understood even before I complained, but I complained anyway. People even like Markiplier and Jacksepticeye have talked about how the vast bulk of people are gone after like 2-3 minutes. So I didn't mean to complain, and when I did, I certainly didn't mean to complain in the way in which it sounded, which is my fault, not anybody else's fault for taking it that way. I went and should have said it clearer. But if you have watched this far, if you could type spoon into the comments just to let both me and the YouTube algorithm know that people do in fact watch these videos, that would be very cool. Greatly appreciated. You, of course, do not have to. No, I'm not going to force you. I wouldn't even want to. Consent is important. But if you could, that'd be very cool. Definitely a thumbs up on that. So, until we meet again, well, I did cut off this part where I was going to say, hey, I'm going to edit, render, upload, take care of myself, do what I can to take care of myself, and you need to take care of yourself as best as you can, as well as try to do what you want to do. But if you can't get done the things you want to get done, please do not beat yourself up. It does not help you get them done better next time, and you deserve better. So now, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is indeed a very, very good thing. Well, at least a good thing. Hopefully a very good thing. I sincerely hope it's not the plastic in my brain that's causing me memory issues. But who knows? Hopefully it's just the ADHD brain. Because, again, I have heard as in read, people online who have ADHD writing about how they forget about what they're talking about as they're talking about it. So I'm not alone in that. Anyway, though, you take care and I'll talk to you next time.